In tonight's Sounds of Cultura, SOC, an exhibition examining works of Mexican-American art and the influence of the cultures of the United States and Mexico. With me to talk about the exhibition is Michelle Nichols-Dock, the gallery coordinator for Tempe Center for the Arts. Michelle, welcome to Horizonte.
Thank you for having me.
This is an interesting collaboration between your organization and the ASU Hispanic Research Center.
It was. We were actually approached by the Hispanic Research Center a couple of years ago with this idea. They were looking at pieces from their own collection of Mexican-American artists and saw some recurring themes going on and proposed the exhibition to us, and we were all for it, and we saw the possibilities of bringing in more collaborations into it as well.
Now, when we talked off camera, you mentioned that this was something that neither you nor the Hispanic Research Center could have done on your own.
Yeah.
They had to be a collaboration. Explain that.
Yeah, the exhibition actually features 42 artists, and some of those artists are local and regional artists, but some of them are actually national and internationally recognized artists, like Jose Posada and Norman Rockwell and Leopoldo Mendez and Luis Jimenez. And then we bring in all these other elements to it, and we were able to pick and choose artworks from different collections because so many different entities believed in what the Hispanic Research Center and the Tempe Center for the Arts were doing, that they were willing to loan us pieces. So we had things from ASU Art Museum, we had things from Tucson Museum of Art, Chico of Chandler, local artists, Tempe History Museum, and also local collectors. So, either one of us couldn't have done it alone, but bringing in all of these other entities and individuals together, we were able to bring together a really magnificent and well-rounded show with lots of things for people to see.
Now, Jose Posada, a famous Mexican caricaturist in particular, from near the turn of the last century, people would recognize that and understand why he or his work would be represented here. Norman Rockwell, though, nobody has ever thought of him as a Chicano. So
you
what's
didn't
the
know
connection
that?
there?
We actually borrowed a Norman Rockwell 1942 era World War II poster featuring one of the four freedoms, the freedom from want, which is the famous Thanksgiving scene that people saw on Saturday Evening Posts. We borrowed that from Tempe History Museum because of a piece from Yuma artist Larry Yanez. Larry has this piece called Cocina Highteca. And in the piece, it depicts a 1950s kind of caricature of a kitchen, which is from his memories of childhood and his aunt's Mexican kitchens. And when we were talking to Larry, he is a very humorous individual. And
We've had him on our show before.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
But he jokingly said, maybe now he's the Chicano Rockwell for doing this kitchen scene. And we were kind of like, well, explain that a little bit more, because we thought it was funny, but what was he inferring from that? And he said, well, he wasn't actually thinking about Norman Rockwell when he created the piece. But after he created the piece and he saw the Norman Rockwell, he saw the similarities, that it's about family and it's about coming together and celebrating the things that you have in common and celebrating the American family. He was just doing it in a different way.
Now, you had another piece, this one by Frank Ibarra, we're going to put on the screen in just a moment, that kind of shows that same theme. This one is a fiesta type event. You've got the kids breaking the piñata, but you also have the hamburgers and hot dogs.
Yeah. Well, with Frank, he grew up here in Phoenix, and he talks about in his text panels about being an American citizen and his parents pushing for he and his siblings to speak English and to live the American dream. But yet they were from a Mexican-American family, so they still celebrated ideas of their culture. So in this piece, the dad figure has a apron that has a Mexican flag on it, yet he's cooking American hamburgers and hot dogs on the grill. And in the background, you see children playing with a piñata. So it's a combination of identities and influences from both American culture and Mexican culture.
And I should have mentioned that that was titled Backyard Pachanga, which is
Yeah.
a word for a party. You also had an interesting piece from Monica Martinez.
Yes.
Slightly different imagery here and different kinds of influences. We're going to put that on the screen as well.
Okay.
Tell us about her work.
Monica is another Phoenix artist, and she's originally from El Paso, Texas. She went to New Mexico State University, and she talks about actually when she was in New Mexico being struck by the milagros, which are...
And this is a close-up image of one of the images that's in the bigger picture.
Right. And in the piece, you don't right away see Mexican milagros. And for
Tell our audience what milagros are.
For people that don't know, milagros are like a charm, a little metal charm, sometimes made out of tin, sometimes made out of precious metals. And in parts of Mexico and the southern regions of the United States, people will pick out an arm charm or a heart or something that represents something they want to be healed or something that they're praying for. And so you go into churches sometimes in New Mexico and you'll see an altarpiece just covered with little tin milagros, and they represent little miracles that people are hoping for.
And in that image we also saw the European influence on her work, the obvious reference to Da Vinci.
Yeah, she was looking at, she was reading human anatomy books because she's a drawing teacher, and so she's always trying to update her skills. And because she does feature a lot of people in her work, she was looking at that. And when she was looking at the Vitruvian Man, she saw similarities and some influences that she wanted to incorporate into her work. And she does this crucifix-like piece, but it's a bit of a self-portrait. And it has references to the Vitruvian Man with the circle and the square behind it.
Michelle, we're almost out of time. Tell us quickly about the educational component for the exhibition.
Yeah, the Tempe Center for the Arts is really interested in community outreach, and one of the ways that we're able to do that is through free admission, but also through free online curriculum for elementary and secondary teachers and students and parents.
And people can go to the website to get more information.
They can go to our website and see past ones that we've done, and here coming up the next couple of weeks, we'll have the Mixing It Up one posted.
And on that note, we're going to end our show. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
That is it for us tonight from all of us here at Horizonte. I'm Jose Cardenas. Have a good evening.